If you look at what's going on, it's like there's a cycle. They send billions to Israel, Ukraine, and 2 months later they say there's a government shutdown. So they're protesting about this. We're protesting. They have money. They have money to send to Israel. They're not U.S. citizens. They don't pay for any taxes in this country. They don't vote. They pay attention to them, but they don't pay the national debt. They don't spend it on their own people. You have veterans sleeping under the bridge. That's why we're down here. There's no national security funding butchering innocent kids and things like that. That's not a national. It's being humiliated right now in the international world. We have no credibility. This is not a national security issue. There was no choice. How do you spend $1 billion? My congressman, the little piece of shit, Mike Quigley, right? He's not a senator, he's a congressman. He's getting $250,000. He's getting $250,000 from just one lobbyist, AIPAC. Why should he listen to me? Why should he? If he's getting, Jan Sikowski is getting $750,000. From one lobbyist. If they're getting 10,000, 5,000, why should they listen to the citizens? I have called my congressman, Mike Quigley, many times. I have called Dick Durbin. Tammy, I try to do some calling. I've made little postcards, passed around 2,000 of them in my own neighborhood. I'm my congressman. I got 2 people responding out of 2,000 postcards. That's 1/10 of 1%. 1/10 of 1%. And one of them was for it, and one was against it. All I was saying is, I'm your neighbor. I'm trying to organize and have a meeting with the congressman. That's all I was saying. I'm Iranian. I'm Muslim, but I'm a human being. This is a human rights issue. You know, I used to see this as a Palestinian religious thing. No, you educate yourself. This is not a religious conflict. This is not a Palestine. This is human rights. Why are they giving that much money to Israel? This is and then the veterans are sleeping under the bridge. There's something effed up about the government that's doing that. Vets are sleeping under the bridge. Do you even understand that? The guy that fought for your freedom is sleeping under the bridge. I'm a high school teacher. You know, they could, yeah.
What do you teach?
Math.
Math? Okay.
High school. Yeah, but it's hard because look, 15 years before I was born, supposedly the Korean War ended. 15 years before, we have troops in Korea. Vietnam lasted 20 years. Guess how many years Afghanistan lasted? 20 years. We have troops in Iraq. 21 plus years, all going on 22. Syria, almost 10 years. We don't like these little 6-month wars. We like them decades long.
We're going for a long haul on wars, right?
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it. You think this is gonna be over?
Let's take a step back. This protest occurred on October 16th. As of today, 3 days ago, Israel and Hamas have reached a ceasefire and hostage deal. There's been a word on the street that Israel rejected over 10 deals, continuously adding new conditions. It looks like we really don't like short wars, do we? And isn't it interesting how agreements conveniently fall into place just days before Trump's inauguration? We live in a world fueled by war profiteering, deception, and propaganda. That's why staying informed and seeking news from independent sources is more crucial than ever. Let's continue.
They have family. Their blood is like my blood. They have feelings. They have feelings. But you know what? They don't care if they're Muslim, Christian, their neighbors. Look what they're doing to Cuba for the past 60, 70 years. That's your neighbor. That you could swim to Cuba from Florida. That's your neighbor. Take care of your neighbor. Look what they're doing to Venezuela. That's your backyard. Everybody has security issues, so you have to listen to what Russia, what their concern is too. You can't just uh, you know, jam whatever you want to people's throat and say, oh, why are they acting like that?
Yeah.
You can't do that. You know, do Russians have like carriers hanging around in the Gulf of Mexico or around by California? Do they have like destroyer submarines hanging around there? But we have right to do anything.
Yeah.
We could put two carrier groups in the Persian Gulf, and if they bring a speedboat, if the Iranians bring a speedboat out, they say, oh my God, why are they being so provocative? That's their freaking water. They're doing the same thing in the Black Sea and the North Sea. And
Do you have people who benefit from war?
oh yeah, my congressman, Mike Quigley.
He does.
That's just one. There's so many people. Some of the citizens. You could make hospitals. You could make schools. You could train teachers. You could make factories. You could do other things. Why is killing better than making, cars, better cars? They're saying right now China's have better electric cars than we do.
Yeah.
So.
Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! From the river to the sea! Chicago, I can't hear you! I said, from the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine is almost free! Palestine is almost free! From the river to the sea!
Government didn't take into account now we have technology, internet, and we're talking among each other. They can no longer lie to us and control the media, the narrative. They can keep going and on and on and on, trying to gaslight us, but they can no longer do that. We know the truth. That's why we're here, because we're people of conscience. There's a genocide going on, funded with our tax dollars. It's an ethnic cleansing by the old, just look it up. The definition is clear. They destroy all infrastructure in Gaza, all the schools, all the hospitals, like with the war propaganda of terrorism. That's bullshit. There's over 17,000 children and baby murdered. All they did wrong was to be born in the wrong side of the world. Why? Because there's a ethno-state, racist state called Israel trying to get rid of the Arabs. They've been doing this for years, for decades. We already know that. People from Palestine are telling us that. They've been warning us for so long. That's the truth. That's the truth. We bear witness what's going on. It's right in front of us. And at some point, we learned that the Egyptian government was charging like tremendous amount of money for Palestinians to evacuate Gaza. So from all points, they're making it impossible for the Palestinians to just to live, to be. They're humans. Just leave them the fuck alone. Stop the bombing. Stop the killing.
Long live Palestine! What do we want? Justice! Shut it down! 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 Shut it down!
Overall, I feel it's a divestment of the imperial empire overall. So this also just means to stop sending militaries and spreading American imperialism from Venezuela, from Cuba, from Nicaragua, from Uruguay, from Sudan. But yeah, I feel like that's the bigger picture. Government officials are not going to help us. They're not going to help the people. They are going to primarily be and stick where the money is and what makes them money. And unfortunately, that is production. And unfortunately, for them, it involves going to other countries. Productions of weapons, collection of oil. Venezuela's a rich country in oil, a lot of oil. And right now there's many refugees in Chicago who are homeless and unhoused because they put a dictator into their country to push them all out. I don't know what goes on in the House, but I don't know. They're huge Netanyahu dick suckers, so I don't know. Stop sticking your noses in other fucking countries. And everything. We have no right to start war. We have no right to have occupation and everything. Focus on the problems we got here. We have a lot of problems here in America right now. You have unhoused Americans, unhoused immigrants. You have like too many issues. People can't afford housing, can't afford food. Eggs are too expensive right now. College is expensive. Education is expensive. Stop taking critical theory away from our English curriculums. Stop trying to dumb people down. And everything. Focus on the issues here and stop sticking your nose in other places. We don't belong over there.
What do you think the biggest issue, domestic issue in the United States? Is it education, healthcare, or what is it, in your opinion?
I think it's just all of it. There's just so much is going to military and police officers, and it's all of our tax dollars, and it doesn't go back to us.
Like we have been since the start of this genocide. Providing housing to low-income families. But instead, free Palestine! Free Palestine! Through liberation, so be loud, from the river to the sea! We called them out continuously. We called out businesses that are invested in the genocide. We called out elected and President sending aid to the genocide. And we have had enough.
This was a hot issue some months ago, but it goes on and people lose interest. If you just look at people giving their explanation why they voted for Trump this past time, they don't really have a grasp of the issues. But when Trump takes power, the problem in Israel, Gaza is going to get worse. Wake up, develop a conscience, and find out what your country's supporting.
I don't know that much about what's going on, but I know that the government is spending a lot of money on Israel, and people don't like that. Healthcare is huge. There's way too many seed oils, sugar, food coloring, and chemicals in our food, and we need to be more natural. Like Europe has better regulations on food.
Give me a daily diet. What do you eat?
Avocado, beef, chicken, olive oil, no vegetable oils. I'll have vegetables, fruit.
That's a good start. Do you take any supplements?
Creatine.
Okay, that's a good one.
And vitamin C. Sorry about my dog. You need news from multiple sources, so I can't just use one news source. I'll do a lot of like TikTok and YouTuber news to learn, because mainstream media, they only push one thing.
Right. We're not gonna see it on the TV. We could see it on the YouTube, but also they're gonna try to bring the video down to have less exposure to things like this.
Yeah.
Is that the truth, the part of it?
Censorship, definitely. If you look up Google How to Report, in 2022, they removed 400,000 articles from Google. The government. Yeah. That's censorship.
We have newly elected President Trump. What do you think is gonna happen when he comes to office?
I don't know. I think I'm a fan of RFK removing shit from the diet, but the tariffs might be too high. There's a lot of pros and cons to think about. I think the food will get better though, and healthcare is the most important thing right now, so that's good. We need to ban seed oils, and like 85% of grocery stores, it's all processed food. Can't have processed food like that. Like I said, more like Europe.
Would you like to have a farm on the outskirts of the city of Chicago?
That would be pretty cool.
Are you local? You live here?
Indiana.
You live in Indiana?
Yeah, I'm going to college in Indiana.
Oh, why are you here?
I was on the way back. I visited my grandma in Wisconsin for a little early Thanksgiving. So I just stopped at the Bean to take a picture.
What city in Indiana?
Indiana University. I'm studying entrepreneurship. I'm starting my business, and it's a great school, I think.
Tell me about your business.
So I got a clothing brand. This is it, actually.
No way.
Yes, sir.
You got a clothing brand too.
No way. What's it called?
See Beyond.
See Beyond. Are you wearing it?
I'm wearing it right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, I'm gonna look. That looks sick. I'm gonna look that up. Fuck yeah. Okay, awesome. Awesome.
With the ceasefire and arms embargo.